Smurf it up. A 5, you guys really went there. I love it. The 5 is amazing, bro. Thank you so much.
We're going to be delivering a little dream come true this afternoon.
Hey guys, hey man, what's up? We're here in New York City. My name's Betty.
The whole team's going to go to the Yankees game, just like the Yankee one.
This one's huge. It's the season premiere.
We've been waiting for this one, I feel, since the day we started the podcast.
Well, we sat down with the guy who inspired it, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, as a lot of you guys would know in the podcast world. Obviously, if you haven't heard of him, I really think you're under a rock. Like if you're in the social world, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all that kind of stuff.
Because he hangs out everywhere.
Yeah, he hangs out everywhere because it's really cool, right? He's essentially documenting his ups and downs. Runs a 1,000-person company, VaynerX.
In 3 countries.
In 3 countries, almost 4 now.
Yeah, soon to be 4, I think.
Soon to be 4. We flew down to New York. That's the episode that you guys are going to be watching.
We flew down to New York.
And
we didn't have to take the bus.
Because of
this time.
Mr. Ryan Serhan's episode in season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
We got on the plane, all of us, myself, you, Simeon,
our boy
Clem, and it was amazing to see his operation. I got to see, I've been watching and following him for a long time, Laura. I know you have as well, but I don't think you've really seen or heard any of the content in his office. So were you what did you think when you got to see the whole operation?
It gave me chills a little bit just to be in the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course to walk down the hall and actually see his office, which looks kind of similar to ours, or ours looks kind of similar to his.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there doing his job, and then he's squeezed us in and to do a quick 30-minute podcast with him. And what a nice guy, like a gentleman, really. As soon as the podcast was done, I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was it was interesting to see that although you were the person asking him questions, he wasn't speaking to you the whole time. He was looking at everybody else in the room and speaking to them directly. So that was pretty cool.
Well, we'll see how good our media squad is, a.k.a. Clem and Steven.
Yeah, we're putting our
Keegan.
media squad up against his now.
I say that because we'll see if they notice that.
Right, the very heart of it, New York.
Hi, this is Clem, producer and director at the REC Media Squad. That's me, that's my face. Before we go to New York City, a bit of backstory. In October of 2018, I applied for a job at REC Canada here in Toronto. In my interview, Jas Takhar, my boss, asked me if I knew who Gary Vaynerchuk was. This guy. I was familiar with the name, but only just. A few months earlier, I had applied for a job at another company. In the job posting, they said they were looking for their very own D-Rock. I didn't know who D-Rock was, so I looked him up. Turns out, D-Rock was the main videographer for Gary Vaynerchuk at VaynerMedia in New York City. D-Rock had become a bit of a celebrity himself as one of the world's best-known videographers.
We are on a mission to collect more D-Rocks.
Long story short, I didn't get the job at this other company. I bring this up because Jas was also looking for his own D-Rock. REC Canada was launching the Media Squad, and the Gary V content model was going to be REC's Bible for content creation. The REC Experience podcast was already on air, and one of Jas's big gets was Gary Vaynerchuk. But nobody at REC actually believed we would ever get an interview with Gary, one of the most famous entrepreneurs and media influencers on the planet. Then one day, Jas said to me, "Hey, you want to go to New York?" And that's when Jas told me he had landed a sit-down interview with Gary Vaynerchuk in his office at Hudson Yards in New York City, USA. So in May of 2019, in the era known as the Before Times, REC Canada took over New York City for 3 mad days. On the schedule were 3 podcasts, the first episode of REC Tours at Hudson Yards, and a whole lot of vlogging. With that said, on with our story. REC and NYC, the Before Times, Day 1.
There we go. So what's going on, Jas?
Clem, Simeon, Laura, sitting here waiting for our flight to be boarding to NYC.
just getting on the runway, heading to NYC.
Just about to land in New York City.
Look at this place. I love the fact that when people are driving down the Gardner and the DVP and saying there's too many buildings in downtown Toronto. Guys, this is the Manhattanization effect right now. We have 150,000 people coming into the GTA year over year for the next 10 years. Look at this. Look how this city looks.
Ah, this is beautiful.
Are you guys telling me you would not want Toronto to look like this? Should Toronto not look like this, guys? It's right there, Simos. Check the back window. It's right there, right there.
It's like when it was just like that.
In traffic? Yes. Yeah, from Don Mills to Mississauga. It's a little exaggerated.
Just landed. New York.
Yes. I love it. Connecticut, we took the train into Canada. Pretty much just went on the hunt to find Abercrombie because we didn't have one in Canada yet. Sorry, I can change this. Listen, I can change. I'm not as used to it as this guy. I'm not like, hey guys, hey man, what's up? We're here in New York City. My name's Jas.
Okay, we're good. They're gonna drop off everything in one place.
I'm in the Simos now, just so beautiful her hair was. And then she told us her name. Your name was?
Thank you. My name is Destiny.
Awesome. Beautiful hotel.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. Where are you guys coming from?
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah. Thank you. In Toronto.
A lot of people in Toronto think that it's very expensive, so we want to explain the difference.
Okay.
Right? But what happens to a city? We're in New York right now, just checked in, and obviously we have a big podcast coming out tomorrow. Today, the whole team's gonna go to the Yankees game, just like a Yankee would.
best part about New York, not only did they build a brand new Yankee Stadium, but the one that the field was originally built on, they built a baseball field for the kids. Imagine that! The kids now get to bat and pitch and play for Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. You got Babe Ruth where they actually play. I love New York. I love